we were heading for Papua New Guinea as missionaries, and we had purchased the Dot and thought it would be an ideal bike to take with us up there. So that's how it all started down in Napier.
So what was she to be used for?
Well, I took it up there imagining that it would be good for the conditions, not many roads, a few tracks, and being a competition scrambler type bike, I thought, well, it would be ideal for the job. It was in pretty good condition like you see it today when we took it up there, and of course the conditions weren't anything like the tar seal roads we have today, boulders and rocks and mud and everything, but it performed very well indeed. The bike was left in New Guinea with the mission up there, and we came back to New Zealand and settled in Auckland once we arrived back. So,
but that wasn't the end of the story, was it?
No, it wasn't, and quite a few years later on I decided I wouldn't mind another motorbike, and of course it had to be a Dot, the same as the one that we had in New Guinea, and I heard of somebody up here in Titirangi who had one the same. And so I contacted him and said, I'd like to come and have a look at the bike you've got. I said, I'm trying to find one. And he said, well, you can come and have a look, but it's not for sale. And anyway, we went up there and had a look at it, and we saw it and straight away recognised that it was the bike we had left in New Guinea. It evoked a lot of memories, just seeing the motorcycle again and thinking, wow. And then I can think of how we used to ride it and where we went on it and who was on it and everything, and it did bring back a whole lot of memories for us. Once I did get hold of it again, and I completely restored it to what you see it today, and then I thought, well, what's the purpose in all this? Why have I got this bike back again and it's all looking pretty here? And I just felt a witness within me that God was involved in it, and so if that was the case, Ruth, my wife, and I discussed it and said, well, why don't we ride it from Cape Reinga to the Bluff and use it to raise funds for something? So that's what we thought we'd do, and that's when we approached MAF and said, hey, we've got this crazy idea, are you guys interested in being part of it? Well, we relied heavily on missionary aviation from getting to the different regions that we were operating in, and the bike handled the roads between, but then it was MAF, and the bike went in a little Cessna aircraft with the front wheel off, and MAF meant a lot to us up there, and so we thought, well, why don't we use it to try and raise awareness and raise some funds for missionary aviation.
I guess when Dot went out to PNG, that was pretty early days for MAF, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. MAF have been working in Papua New Guinea for many years, since the 40s and 50s. We have a really important role as a serving ministry. So we help other missions and other groups do their job by getting them around. Without planes, without being able to carry people, other missions, for example, wouldn't be able to either get to where they need to do their work, or they'd get there under extreme hardship, like take a long time, and under the dangers that go with that. So MAF provides a really important link, actually, in PNG to get people around and to help the growth of the church and the gospel there. Obviously, we can only take experienced people to PNG because it is a very difficult and dangerous place to fly. So in New Zealand, we're very fortunate of recruiting excellent pilots from here, as well as engineers, to go to PNG. So there's quite a few Kiwis who've either work up there currently or have worked there in years gone by.
So how important is something like this enterprise that Frank's engaged in? How important is that going to be to MAF?
Look, this is a great story, isn't it? Because it links something that they've been involved in with doing mission work and the use of a motorcycle, linking that with their story about using MAF while they were there. And MAF is such a critical organisation to mission agencies, and you get missionaries home and they talk about MAF and how important it is. So linking the two together is a wonderful story, actually, and we're delighted to be involved with it.
There's something very neat about it being an ancient motorbike raising money for such a high-tech mission.
Yeah, it is. Using an old motorcycle, raising funds for a brand new aeroplane to be used up there. What a contrast it is. I think that's fabulous, isn't it?
So what sort of reaction are you getting? Because I know you obviously haven't done the run yet, but what sort of reaction are you getting from people when you go around?
Actually, we're getting a lot of encouragement, and certainly as Frank has been getting the word around, not just to aviation and mission or Christian people, but also to motorcycle clubs, Christian and non-Christian. There's been a very positive reaction, and we're looking forward to what it might generate during the ride. We have been very keen to set something quite definitive. We want to raise funds towards the purchase of a brand new aircraft, the type of plane that is used in PNG. It's a new type. It has a turbo engine, and we're looking up to the $1 million, which is a lot of money, but any money we can raise toward the purchase of an aircraft will just be fabulous up there and will help do mission in PNG.
It was stripped right down to its last nut and bolt, and everything was re-chromed or replated, and new tyres and so on. It says that we've got to have faith, but my faith is stretched to building 3 new engines and gearboxes so we can complete the ride. So they had been very reliable bikes.